Hey guys, welcome to Sabrina's Craft-nanigans for this month's Craft Your Stash. I got one project and it starts out with this little thrifted item I got here for $3. I'm going to take it, do the same old, going to sand it down, poof. And then I'm going to take this lace chalk paint right here, deco art, and we're going to poof. And there we go. Nice and smooth. I'm going to sand it. Yes, it's the Craft Your Stash with Miss Tasha, Miss Joanna. Check out my description box for all the playlist links and their channel links, guys. I'm going to give this a good sand down and make sure I got quite a bit of the paint out of that groove right there. That's groovy. I'm going to show you kind of a combination. I got chalk paints. I got some apple barrel acrylic paints. Yellows, browns, and I'm going to pop in a pumpkin orange here in a second. I'm going to just play with this. I'm going to combine all of these colors to just try to make something cool. Do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. I'm going to start with the yellow, and I'm going to start with my Maze chalk paint by Waverly. I'm going to get some of that on there, and I'm going to spread that all over a nice good coat. I went around the edges and everything, smooth it all out. While it's still wet, I'm going to get a different paintbrush. And I'm going to take Pale Daffodil by Apple Barrel, give that just a couple little squirts, not as much as I did the Maze, and just kind of brush that around and kind of smear it in. I am not letting it dry between layers. So see, you can kind of still see some pops of the brighter yellow from the Pale Daffodil. Well, now we're going to go to Lemon by Apple Barrel. And I'm going to put some squirts and drizzles of that on there and get another paintbrush and kind of just blend this in. I am letting nothing dry. It is all wet, and if it does start to dry, I spritz it with my mister a little bit to kind of loosen everything back up. I'm trying to blend the colors, but not blend them so much that it's one color, you know. Now I'm going to take my Pumpkin by Waverly, and you can see I'm just kind of spreading this all around. And while I do this, guys, I do get my edges. I just kind of cut quite a bit of that out. So it's like blended, but you still see some streaks in there, okay? Now, we're going to go to our browns. I'm going to start with some Hazelnut by Waverly. This is all still wet. I have not dried anything. And if it starts to get too dry, I mist it with my mister to kind of wetten it back up because I want them to mix, but not completely. That's why I wanted to slow this down and just do this one project. See, like right there, I just sprayed it back down. And then I went back to my paintbrush I used with my Maze, and I'm just kind of just spreading it all over. I want it mixed, but still want to see the streaks in it. So you can kind of see that hazelnut brown in there. But I still felt, well, I need just a little bit more brown. So I got that Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel, and I was kind of nervous about doing this part. Because see me, I'm like, bah. So I just put a couple drops on it, okay? And then after my couple drops, I got my mister out, right? I soaked this thing so bad. It is so wet. Watch the paint fly, guys, especially on the right-hand side of the screen. I think I got more paint on the table and everything on the table than I did on the board. But, of course, now I'm thinking that's too much brown. But I kept at it. I kept going. I kept swirling. Went around my sides. And then I'm thinking it's got the brush strokes. You guys know me. I don't like brush strokes. I got a chunk of a sponge that I cut off. I wetted it, just made it damp. It's not soaking. And we're going to tap, 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 all the way down and back up. I think I went over it like twice. So the colors are mixed really good. It looks pretty cool. It doesn't look really cool until it's completely dry. Okay? So we'll see it here in just a second. Okay? Take 553 of a little thingy, little talk here. Yeah, this is going to be a right one. I just know it. Welcome to this month's Craft Your Stash with your beautiful host, Miss Tasha from Sunflower Tasha DIY, and my beautiful Joanna from Joanna's DIY Life, and this month's guest host, me. Oh my gosh. I was so excited when they said I could be the guest host this month. Make sure you go to my description box and click on those channel links to Joanna and Tasha's channels. And also the playlist link will be in my description box for all the amazing creators and their creations that they made this month. And from our stash this month, we could do Christmas, Or we could do sunflowers. You guys know I've been on the Christmas in July train. Well, I've jumped off and I'm jumping on the sunflower train. I love sunflowers. They're my favorite. And also my classroom is themed in sunflowers, and I got school starting in 2 weeks. So I'm making this little sign for my classroom, so it's a win-win for me. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share it out with your friends. I need 100 more subscribers, guys, and I'm at 1,000, and I told you we're going to have a giveaway. Get your friends to subscribe. Maybe if they never even watch again, get them to subscribe so we can have that 1,000, and I promise you a giveaway this time. I'm not fibbing this time. I promise you. Also, in comments, let me know, do you like this one project slowed down? Or do you want to see more projects and speed it up? Let me know what you favor the most down there in comments. Check out those ladies' channel links. Check out the playlist link. I will see you back here again on Sunday with the What Would You Make collaboration, coordinating with my Hot Mess Sunday. And I hope I keep up with the Hot Mess Sundays. School's about to start. I'm going to try my best, guys. I hope you guys have a great week. I love y'all so much. Mwah. And bam. There it is. Look what it, after it dried, the sponge gave it like the perfect, I don't know. I love how this turned out. And like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. I just smeared a bunch of paint together. So this is all just about you guys and what you want to do. But that sponge gave it just the texture and okay, anyway, so you know I can't do anything without my antique wax, right? So I'm just doing the flick, 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 flick around the edge, or the pounce, 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 pounce. I'm making sure I get my corners really good to kind of make them stand out a little bit more, so you can see how there's a lot more in the corners. And then I'm going to take my brush, and you won't see this on here, but I did like at some point get a smaller brush, and I really got into that groove right there through the middle, because this just wasn't doing it. I wanted it darker than that. So I cut that out though, but you go as dark as you want. And then I just took in whatever was left of paint on my brush, I just swiped it all over. Done that. I am so happy with the way this came out. And will I ever be able to do this again? Nope, probably not. But that's okay. We got it this time. All right, now we're going to make a pocket, and we're going to stuff sunflowers in our pocket. Okay, guys, don't come at me for cutting up the jeans. Okay, I promise. This is the only pair that I saved. I donated everything else, I promise. Okay, so I didn't want to cut the belt waistband part, because I might want to do something else with that. So that's why I was kind of like, where do I cut? Where do I cut? Well, first I just got the pocket out. And then once I got the pocket out, I threw them to the side there. And now we're going to cut right along the edges of the pocket along its seams. But make sure you don't cut too far in. Not that you could anyway, because that's pretty thick right there, you know. Because we still want the back, okay? And now I'm going to play Puppet Master here with my hand. Hello, how you doing? Oh, hello, I'm in jeans pocket. What is going on today? Okay, anyway. Yeah, school's about to start. Got to get in kid mode. Okay, so we're going to take our pocket here. And what I just pointed to there was that little divot crook that was up at the top, making sure it stays at the top. I'm going to use hot glue and some Aleene's tacky glue to glue it on. We'll go around all 4 edges, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a pentagon. Woohoo! I mathed today. And then, so we went around the edges with the hot glue, and with the Aleene's, I squirted some on and then got a paintbrush and smeared it all over so it was one even coat. That whole back was covered with glue. And I pressed that down and let that sit. While that is sitting, I'm just kind of going through my florals here. There's our sunflowers, some wheat kind of picks, some daisies. This was all in my stash. Given to me. I've had it. I might have bought it 2-3 years ago. Let me show you a trick, guys. You might have seen this trick, but if you haven't, some of my seasonal florals I stuff in totes. So when you get them out, they're all crammed. Or like if you get them at Dollar Tree, they're janky, right? Like the one on the right. Well, look, that one on the right, look like the one on the left. They both look the same. Use your air gun. Use your heat gun. And if you put a little bit of heat to it and keep the heat moving, it'll poof out your flower. And they look so good. Don't think because it's smashed, it's no good anymore. And then it's also 2 layers of petals, and they do move. So if you slide the top layer of petals around so that those petals are in between the bottom layer of petals, that fluffs it out too. I should have showed you that, but you know I wasn't thinking of that at that time. Anyway, you saw just about 10 minutes ago that I put a piece of floral foam in the pocket. I was just going to throw the flowers in there, but they wobbled too much. So I put a little skinny piece of floral foam in there. And then I'm just sticking my florals in. This is whatever florals you want, however many you want. I like to think odd numbers when I'm doing florals. So like right now you see 3 sunflowers, but I think I eventually put like 5 in. I like to always keep it odd. I don't end up using the little ones there, by the way. But I use most of those white flowers, and yeah, Moose is helping in here. And I ended up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I just go with the 5. So I like odd numbers when it comes to like florals and stuff like that. Just trying to stick my daisies and those other white ones kind of just in between. Fluff, fluff, fluff. That went on forever. And then a couple little sprigs back there in the back. So, oh, look like I added another sunflower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7, but it's still an odd number. So there you go. Haha. Okay, now we're going to add some little detail to our pocket here. And I did not hot glue any of the flowers in. That way I can take them out, remove them, replace them if I want to do something else with it. You know me, I don't officially hot glue anything that I could take out later. Okay, back to this. That packet of scraps came from Dollar Tree. I'm taking my pinking shears here. This leaves the zigzags around the edges of your fabric so that your fabric doesn't fray on you. So that's one reason I'm using it. But the other reason I'm using my pinking shears is to give it that patchwork type look, because we're going to put a little patch on our pocket. Yes, we are. So I got my little sunflower piece here. And I'm also going to get this black and white buffalo check because, like I said, sunflowers and black and white buffalo check match my classroom perfectly. So we just got 2 little squares of that cut out, and I'm kind of just figuring out how I want them on. Now, to glue them on, I'm just going to use that Aleene's tacky glue again. So I'm going to get my Aleene's here and just a small paintbrush. And I'll put a couple daubs on the back. Ba-doop-ba-doop, if it comes out. Boop-ba-doop-ba-doop. And then I'll take my paintbrush and all over the place. I'll brush it all over, especially the edges, to make sure that it sticks down good. So once I get that all on there, I'll place it on there where I like it. Press down. And then I'll do the same thing with my sunflower piece. Just a little bit of glue, but then spread it out, especially the edges. Make sure you get your edges. And then I'll kind of angle this on, not exactly an X, but kind of wonky. You know, I like wonky, so there we go. And once I get those on and press, I'm going to take what was left of the glue on the paintbrush and make sure that those edges are sealed down really, really good. So yay, can't you tell I'm excited? There goes the fingers and the hands. Okay, we're going to use these same fabrics. And we're going to make a shaggy bow, as I like to call it, a shaggy raggedy bow. So there's our buffalo check. We're going to use what's left of that sunflower. Now, that's the only piece of sunflower fabric that I had that matches what I did for the patch, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the snip and rip, okay? I'm going to take just a regular pair of scissors, not the pinking shears, the scissors. There we go. Cut right in the middle. Just a snip, and then I'm going to rip. Boom. Now I got 2 pieces. And yeah, this gets you a lot of frazzledy-bazzledy edges, but I like all that. That's why it's a raggy shaggy bow. And I also used some black, some burlap, and then some of that yellow you see sitting over there to the side. And because this is exactly what my classroom looks like. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We need 1 more 100 subscribers to get that giveaway, baby. Do share with your friends, baby. Okay. So we're going to glue that on. I took my pinking shears and I cut all the ends of the pieces of fabric to make sure they don't fray. You saw me with the lighter because you know I like to set things on fire. And I frayed with the lighter the ends of the burlap, so hopefully that doesn't get too much more frayed. I'm just going to put a big old blob of glue, hot glue that on. And I was worried that you would see the knot from the jute twine I used to tie those pieces of fabric together. So I just got one of those little sunflowers and I'm going to glue that right on top of the knot. Now it ends up you really can't see it, but I was just thinking, well, if you could, I just wanted to play it safe. So there it is. Now we're going to add just one more thing to it. Perfect for the classroom. We have some great ladies that are on our PTO that treat us teachers like Oh, we're goddesses. These ladies are so amazingly wonderful. They gave us these little seed packets with just this little laser cut piece. Teachers plant seeds that grow forever. Oh, and this is just random. They do the random little stuff like this for us all the time. Love those ladies a bunch. You know me. Took my antique wax, wiped it down, and then took a I wiped it first with a wet wipe. And then I took a dry paper towel and wiped it off. Now, here's where I'm like, man, I don't know where I want to put it. So I first put it in the middle. Now, I left all that open at the top because I first was going to put Pocket Full of Sunshine or Classroom Full of Sunshine. You know that song? Pocket Full of Sunshine? Yeah, that's what I was going to do, but then I changed my mind and I kind of ran out of time too. So that's why I decided to use this little cut thing. Do you guys like it in the middle? Right there, or did you like it up at the top in that corner? You guys let me know down in comments, because I didn't glue it. I just stuck it in there. Now, you guys are going to see right here at this end reveal, there's this cute little coffee filter thing that I made. And then here's a little coffee canister that I made. If you want to know how I made that, stick around for 2 weeks, guys. Not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after, my next Hot Mess Sunday. Not this Sunday. This Sunday will be the What Would You Make collaboration. But the next Sunday, which I think is August the 3rd, I'm going to show you guys how I created those two coffee things right there. That's why I got the title Sunflowers with My Coffee, because these are going in my classroom as well, because I fix everybody coffee in my building in the morning. So if you want to see how I did those two, you guys make sure to check me out on August the 3rd for Hot Mess Sunday. There she is. Those are coming soon. You guys make sure you like, subscribe, check out the playlist links down below in my description box. Have a great week. I love you. See you Sunday.